You are sleeping and raising the hands. Okay, because I have to do this because this is an afternoon session, and in the afternoon session, the people are a little bit relaxed. Like our previous author has said, your head goes back, right? And attention is very less, so I need to wake you up. See, so yeah, of course, I have worked in ISRO, and I was really fortunate to work in the Chandrayaan-1. That is one of the, I mean, it is the first moon mission to of India. Yeah. And of course, after that, a lot of time has elapsed, right? Like River Ganga, the time has elapsed. We had Chandrayaan-2, right? Chandrayaan-2, slight failure. I don't say it's really a failure. We have the orbit, Chandrayaan-2 orbiter continuously rotating around moon. But your lander failed. But does that stop ISRO from launching spacecraft to moon? No. We had the Chandrayaan-3, and what happened? Yeah, it was a grand success. We have landed on the moon, and there is an orbiter that is orbiting, and we have collected samples. And it was not just a kind of, you can say, it's not just a kind of a mission to moon. There was a competition, right? Anybody knows about the competition? Raise the hands. What you tell? What is the competition that happened during the Chandrayaan-3? Okay, anybody can tell? Yeah, that is the mission objective. Like we were the first one to reach the South Pole. But is there any other spacecraft going to moon at the same time? Any? You are very close. It was the Russian the spacecraft, which was, they have launched it exactly, matching with the time of India's mission. And they want to beat India and reach the South Pole of moon before Chandrayaan-3. Of course, the Russians are not our enemies. They have big supporters of our GSLV launches. I have worked myself with the Russian team. And when I was in ISRO, that transition was happening from the Russian team. The cryogenic technology was transitioned to Indian scientists. And I was part of the team. And I have learned a little bit of Russian also because of that. But there was a healthy competition during the Chandrayaan-3 period where our old mentors competed with us. And what happened, right? They were moving in a hurry, and they were moving very fast because they have very powerful liquid apogee motors. They were moving very fast. Chandrayaan was moving slow. And what happened? So Chandrayaan-3 launched, and the Russian mission failed. So these are all happened. So this is something like, children like you will be like very much, right? You like to do these toy car races. Something kind of a race happened during the Chandrayaan-3. So that's something very interesting, right? And to wake you up, I have these many number of topics. I don't know whether I will be able to cover all of them. Already 15 minutes are gone for lunch and all. So we have ISRO missions, and you have a very interesting topic of how to colonize the solar system. Some of you would like to live in Mars, right? I'm sure. How many would like to live in Mars? Oh yeah, all of the entire batch is going to Mars. And how many would like to live in moon? Can we live on moon? Yes or no? Yeah. But here you are beaten, because it is possible to live on moon, because we are not looking at a natural atmosphere here. Like we will create something called a habitat. So it is something like an apartment size or even a kind of a room sized dome. It's a biome. What we call it, a biome. So maybe it's something big like this hall. And you have oxygen and nitrogen regulators inside that biome. And all the things you need, water, everything they will be recycling. Because already studies are going on Earth where you created biomes. And they are looking at how much amount of replenishment is required for oxygen, carbon dioxide, etc. Because there are plants inside that. So that will, whatever you breathe, carbon dioxide, that carbon dioxide taken by plants, and they will give you oxygen. So these biomes are created on Earth, and they are studying. And now we have seen these biomes are surviving for 6 months, even 1 year, etc. with very little amount of extra oxygen you need to give. So that little amount of extra oxygen you can carry from Earth, right? So you can continuously live on Moon. And using same technology, you can live on the Mars. Of course, anybody can live on Jupiter. Yeah. Who's that? Yeah. What is the reason? Correct. Yeah, I think we'll give one to him as well. That also not possible, sir. So there are two reasons. Especially there is no surface on Jupiter. So we will live on the moons, the satellites of Jupiter, Io, Europa, Ganymede, and Callisto. So there are three beautiful moons Jupiter is having. Jupiter itself is very beautiful, and the moons are even more beautiful, right? Io is something like a, you can say, painting canvas. You have all kinds of colors, yellow, green, all the things, but it's a volcanic surface, so we will colonize it much later. But Europa is there, which is there are some studies which shows water is there in Europa, and some studies say that there is more water than Earth have. So you can actually live there happily for a long period of time. So you can create biomes there, right? So Europa, Ganymede, Callisto, and then you have Saturn, where you have two big planets, Titan, which is again having a nitrogen atmosphere, nitrogen rivers. The rivers made of nitrogen and rocks made of water ice. So that's, you imagine a kind of place where water is rock and nitrogen is flowing like a river. Now, that kind of scenario you can see in the Titan. That is a moon of Saturn, and it has an atmosphere similar to Earth with the same amount of nitrogen. You have to just have some oxygen there, and you can live there, and biomes are very easy. And of course, you have Neptune with the Triton, which is far away. And we are currently in our scope, we are not very much interested in going to beyond Saturn to Neptune and Uranus and Neptune and their moons. Okay. And what happened to Pluto? Pluto became a dwarf planet. So it's no longer a planet, but you have hundreds of such planets, dwarf planets. So there is no uniqueness to Pluto, but of course, still because of historical reason, we have been fantasized about Pluto for a long period of time. We had missions there, and we know the full geography of Pluto, etc. Right? Yeah, you can give one to him as well. Stand up now. Yeah. So that's pretty much about it. And then you have this is something very hotly debated topics. And I had a big talk on the beer biceps about it, because the guy, when I went there, I thought like he is talking about my books, basically. I have written 3 books when I was going to Ranveer Allahabadiya. And he didn't tell me what is the subject. And I thought maybe because I used to talk about ISRO missions. But suddenly he is asking, do you believe in aliens? Just in front of him. So then I have done my own studies, some theoretical studies, and of course some studies related to crop circles, etc. So then I said yes. So he said to me, I am the first ISRO scientist who is publicly acknowledging the presence of aliens. And after that, Somanath came to same, he said yes, and Nambi Narayan also said same thing. But earlier they were not opening up about it. When I said and publicly said the aliens are there, I mean, theoretically it is possible, then everybody started saying yes, there are aliens, etc. So we'll basically talk about it a little bit. And then sometimes, this is also one of my subject about some kind of space travel kind of narratives in Mahabharata and Ramayana. I do this because I have 2 passions. One is the space missions, another is Mahabharata, Ramayana, and Rigveda. So I try to correlate between the space technology and what is in the future with what was in the past, because you have to have one leg on the past and another leg on the future. Then only you will be able to move forward. So because of that, I have developed some expertise on the Rigveda and the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. I think some books you can see in the books that Jagannath ji has arranged. So some of you can see that. So there are certain narratives inside the Mahabharata which is very much close to space travel-ish. So definitely I have put it in my books whether there are extraterrestrials during the lifetime of Pandavas, whether Arjuna have actually traveled through space, because there are certain narratives there in the Mahabharata which is related to that. So that is one subject. So I don't know, subject to time, I may talk about it. And the last is about Dharma digital. Again, it is a very totally different topic, but I think some of the speakers have talked about it. It is, anyway, in my introduction also, it has been spoken. So I have created a platform. And the interesting part of it is that there are a lot of 3D representations, 3D animated devatas, like 5 Pandavas, and then Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrugna, Sita, and Hanuman, and Garuda, and all the Itihasic personalities, then the Trimurtis, Vishnu, Shiva, Brahma, then Saraswati, Lakshmi, Parvati, and so many devatas, Indra, and the 12 Adityas. So I have made a collection of holograms. So when I say holograms, what it means is that compared to whatever you see in a computer screen, you can see it in front of you, and these holograms will talk to you, or you can converse with them, they will walk along with you. That kind of a technology. It's a very, I would say it's not fully matured, but it is slowly growing. So I don't know, I will not be able to demonstrate it because it requires some setup, etc. But I will try to show some videos which will show you, how it works. It will bring out artificial intelligence and extended reality technology. That is similar to artificial intelligence. They will bring together so that Krishna can speak. If you ask a question, Sri Krishna can speak, and he can answer any question related to Bhagavad Gita or Mahabharata and talk to you. So these are all the kind of topics. I just give the introduction because I don't know whether I will be completing all the things in the very short session. So can you move the next slide? Yeah. So here what you are seeing is how things are happening. Like now all of you, how many of you know generative AI? ChatGPT? Yeah. I think the full house. So generative AI, ChatGPT is happening, like it's a big revolution, right? It has starting from 2022, 23, 24, now it is 25. It's like captivating everybody's attention. But there is a silent revolution happening. And that revolution is about space technology, right? And of course, not only India, but even NASA, European Space Agency, Japanese, Chinese, Russian, all of them, even United Arab, UAE, UAE also have their own space program and space organization. So all of them are doing these launches, and it's a kind of a warming up. Now all of you are living in a period when the space exploration and colonization of solar system is slowly happening, because there is generative AI, ChatGPT. You are not aware of it, but it's happening. You can see. Say 2028, right? We have this Chandrayaan-1 mission. We went to moon. I was part of that mission. And then Mangalyaan, we went to Mars. And we went there for the first time. You have to clap for ISRO for that. We went there for very first time, which is no other space agency have achieved. And you have the AstroSat mission. That is something related to a space telescope. It's better than a telescope on Earth. You can have a telescope in the space. Very, very clear, right? And then Chandrayaan-2, and then Chandrayaan-3 happened. I was in the news channels when it happened, so it was an unforgettable moment for me. And then Aditya L1, that is a mission to Sun. Of course, did anybody can land on the surface of Sun? Yeah, because you are very intelligent. You cannot land on the surface, but this orbit around the Sun is somewhere midway between Earth and Sun. It's called Lagrange point, where the gravitational forces of Earth and Moon will be cancelling each other, will be perfect equilibrium. And you have the ExpoSat, which is again an X-ray spectrography of the universe. Because a lot of information that you get from the universe, it is in the visible light, but that is what the naked eye see. But in the X-ray, electromagnetic X-ray radiation, you can study a lot about the core of stars, etc. So that is why we have sent that. Then you have SpadeX. SpadeX, anybody can tell, I will give another gift. SpadeX. Which is the SpadeX mission? What is its significance? Okay, You tell.
We can talk.
Yeah, give him a ribbon. The SpaceX mission is for docking. Like you can dock two spacecraft and they will work together. Like that. So why this SpaceX mission is required? Subsequent missions are dependent upon that. Like, for example, the Gaganyaan you have 1, 2, 3. So of course these are unmanned missions. Like you will send an unmanned spacecraft into the 400-kilometer orbit of Earth just for studying purpose. And then you have the third Gaganyaan 3. You will send a robot called Vyomitra. She is a lady robot, shaped like a lady, right? So she will go there and study all the different all kinds of dangers that can be encountered in the outer space in 400 kilometers. So she will study it. And after that you have Gaganyaan 4 and 5. And this is like 2026, like just the blink of eye it will come. 2026 means, right? It just nearby. So you have manned space flight. So Gaganyaan 4 and 5. You will send 2 astronauts and 2 standby astronauts into outer space using this Gaganyaan 4 and 5. And they will rotate around Earth multiple times. I think 8 days they will be in space, something like that, 8 or 16 days. So that's there. And then you have Mangalyaan 2, where you go once again to Mars, right? So that is again a Mars orbiter mission. And you have the Chandrayaan 4. So you have lunar orbiter, lander, and the returns coming back. You are coming back. So that time you require the docking, whatever you did in SpaceX. So because the spacecraft has to go down, a lander will go down, collect some samples and goes upwards from the surface of moon, and it has to dock back onto the orbiter. That is why the docking is a very important the SpaceX is a very important step. And then you have the Shukrayaan. We are going to Venus. So that is again a very difficult thing, right? Going away from sun is very easy. But going towards sun, because Shukra means what? Shukra? Venus, yeah. So Venus is very close to sun. So going towards sun is very difficult. That's why it is last, right? So there is a Shukrayaan. So we will go there, and that is in 2028. Now it's very, very near. And then you have Indian Space Station. That is 2035. Of course, you will be in college, maybe, right? Many of you will be in college or maybe in engineering. So you will have India's own space station rotating around Earth. And you will have permanent Indians staying in space. And they will be talking Malayalam, Telugu, Kannada, etc. Okay? So that is going to happen in 2035. And you have, the dates are not given. We are not leaving any planet, right? We go to Jupiter, Saturn, and beyond. So that is how we lined up. So this is what is happening in front of you is a big revolution and a silent revolution. We are all focused on what? We are all focused on ChatGPT. But this is happening, actually. Yeah. So maybe I will run through this slide very quickly because there are independent stories about each of this mission, which there will not be any time. So this is the Chandrayaan 3 mission, and you can search in the internet. You can see the video where I was talking about the Chandrayaan 3 mission when it was actually happening. And along with me, the Ashutosh is from the Mars rover mission, the third guy. So he is in the Mars rover mission, and we had a discussion about Chandrayaan 3. All these things happened. You can move very quickly. This is the Clipper mission. So I am not only talking about ISRO, right? So I am talking about the entire space, the revolution that is happening. So from European Space Agency, so we don't have any enmity. No? All the space agencies are friends. So we have European Space Agency, they are sending to Europa. Of course, Europa and Europe. So what is the connection? Anybody knows? I will give a gift for them. Yeah. That I know, but I will give a gift to you. But why the name Europa and Europe? Anybody knows? Anybody's? You tell.
The names are
Yeah, why it is similar? Yeah. Roman god, yeah. I will give to you. So the Europa is the name of goddess So Roman goddess, so that name has gone to Europe, the continent Europe, and also to that moon. So that's why the Europa mission. But anyway, they are going there. We'll go very quickly. So this is the Exposat mission I talked about, Exposat, and this is like another danger, right? We are already talking about the positive things, but there are some negative things also, right? Just like you have explorations, and then we are colonizing moon, Mars, etc. There are some dangers that some asteroids can come and visit you. What will happen if an asteroid come and visit your home? Yeah, it will be like not only your home, the entire village, depending upon the size of the asteroid, their entire village, town, country, everything goes, right? It is something which is expected in 2029, 30. There is a possibility of a meteor coming and hitting planet Earth, and all of the space agencies, including ISRO, is trying to mitigate that problem. Yeah, last man. That we don't know. Actually, currently they are seeing the proximity, estimation of this particular this asteroid and its possibility of hitting Earth by 2029. So exactly where it falls, we don't know, because in the American movies they will always show it falling on USA, but now we don't know where it falls. Yeah, we'll move slowly, right? Yeah, and then I talked about this Gaganyaan, right? So it is not like, suddenly you take a bus and go to moon. There are so many steps. So cryogenic stage is one thing. So you have to have a very powerful cryogenic engine to have, work with the Gaganyaan. And then you have to, train the astronauts. So there are 4 astronauts already, we have found out, we took them from the military, and they are military pilots. That means this Air Force pilots. So they are very closer to being an astronaut. So they are being trained, and they are sent to USA for the further training, etc. So we'll move further. Yeah, so I am telling that this silent revolution is happening. There are so many missions, so you can see how many things are there, right? SpaceX mission is there, and then the other thing like that lady who got captured, the Sunita Williams, she is not able to come back. So these are all happening. So as I mentioned, when the ChatGPT is, we are all focused on ChatGPT, the silent revolution is keep on happening. And you have now shuttles. We have shuttles to supply food and oxygen for these people who are stranded there. She was supposed to come in 8 days, but she is there for 8 months. And probably they will bring her back in March, end of March, something like that. Yeah. This is the spread. We'll move next. Yeah. Now we are coming to the very interesting part. So you have seen the small steps that ISRO has undertaken, like going to moon, going to Mars, and these are all orbiter and lander missions, right? And then we have Shukrayaan. So slowly we are exploring all the planets, and what happens next, that is what we are talking about, right? So when was the last time America landed on gone to moon? Anybody knows? That is the first time, 1969, 20th July 1969, when Neil Armstrong landed on the moon. And how long they continued that? Any idea? Around 10 decades, up to Apollo 13, 14, there was up to 18, Apollo 18 mission. So there are few missions, around 10 decades, 10 to 12 years, they continued and they discontinued. So there are so many rumors about it, right? They say they have not gone to moon. No, how many of you believe nobody has went to moon? So as a scientist and as a responsible person, I say it's all fake stories, right? Because Chandrayaan, our own Chandrayaan has taken a photograph of the Eagle, the lander of Neil Armstrong. They have landed on the moon. That Eagle lander, that crash landing site, everything has been photographed by Chandrayaan 3 itself. So you can set aside all these rumors, right? It is not something you have done in studios. One more thing, if you want to simulate this moon landing, you need powerful supercomputers which were not existing in 1969. So that is where the Hoyak stops. So you will be spending more money than the lunar mission to create a computer like that, to simulate it in a computer program. You can't do that. So that is there. And then I am telling this, Artemis 2. So the subsequent mission to return back to moon That is happening in 2026 in your neighborhood. I mean, of course, in terms of time, I'm saying next year is going to happen. So they will return back to moon, and from there onwards, that is, you can say it is the beginning of the colonization of the solar system, right? You have subsequent steps. You have International Lunar Research Station that will be coming in 2030, and China is doing it because China is now powerful, right? Even if US cannot do, China is doing it. And then Earth Moon Special Economic Zone, SEZ in space. Okay, Special Economic Zone in space, that is coming around by 2050. And you have a permanent continuous human presence on moon by 2040. So that means when I'm saying you have presence, some of you may be there who are listening to my talk. They will be there on moon in 2040s, right? And then you have a spaceport with launch pad on moon by 2050. That means you have something like Sriharikota coming up on moon itself, right? And then you have research bases on moon by 2050. These are projections, okay, by different countries. And you have military base on moon by 2050. So it is not just scientific exploration, but industrial exploration also happen on the moon and all other planets, right? And you have tourism, space tourism. So these are all the economic drivers which will slowly trigger the colonization of the solar system. So you have mining and industrial colonies on moon by 2060s, civilian tourist colonies, launch vehicles and Starship facility, Starship like whatever you have, the SpaceX. So instead of launching from Earth, they will launch from moon. And then a lunar city. You will start, the first lunar city is estimated by 2018. I will be gone by now, but you will be there. So you will be living there, right? So that is how things are lined up. And anybody tells the advantage of launching from moon, I will, another gift. Less money. Why? Why it takes less money from launch from moon? Less gravity. Give this to you. Yeah. So until we established a launch pad on moon, it is very difficult. Earth is a gravity well, and the gravity in moon is 1/6, and naturally the corresponding budget reduction will be like 1/20th. Like so, the amount of effort you take from launching from Earth, you will take only 1/20th of that cost and effort from launching from moon. So once that happens, again another stage of colonization. So instead of launching spacecraft from Earth, you will launch it from moon, and you can very quickly launch it to Mars and explore the solar system in a much accelerated manner. So your exploration of the solar system becomes very fast once you establish a spaceport on moon. And then the same thing will continue, ditto, exactly like that, it will continue for Mars, because that is the nearest after moon. It is the nearest for us. Of course, Venus is there, but we are not counting it. Why? Why we are not counting Venus?
Very hot, sir.
Very hot, and
Near the sun.
yeah, Venus is like hell. What in our Puranas we talk about hell, Naraka, something like that. There is sulfuric acid rains falling. You give a gift for okay, I think you already got it. Maybe I'll leave it to you organizers to give one more. So it is a sulfuric acid and all the stuffs like that. So colonization of Venus will take a very, very long time, but we will go to Mars very quickly, because Venus is our closest neighbor, but we will go to Mars. And the whatever happened in moon, that will continue in Mars also. The cargo ships, starships on Mars by mid-2030s, that's just going to happen, right? SpaceX is on that mission. And they are perfecting their SpaceX, launch vehicles exactly for that purpose. So Elon Musk has got the budget, everything from Trump. So hopefully this will happen. And then first manned starships. Again, Elon Musk has promised that by around 2030s. And then permanent and continuous human presence on Mars by 2070. And then there is another place where you can live happily. That is the Lagrange points. It is a pure space where the gravity of Earth and Sun is constant. But there is a lot of advantage in having a space station there, because you can communicate to the Earth, because the relative position of Earth and the satellite position in the Lagrange point will remain constant. So there are so many advantages. I'm not going into details. And so that way, whatever happens on moon, it will continue for the Mars as well. Yeah, so there are certain, this is, anyway, moon everybody knows, right? You just look at and then you see. Then move next slide. Yeah, this is an example of a habitat on the surface of moon. So it is a artist representation, but it will look more or less like this. So you have a lot of, this is the biome what I am talking about, right? Biome. So you have closed container, closed spaces where oxygen, everything is there, like that. Yeah, next slide. So this is just an example of lunar exploration. You have the vehicles. You know, Toyota has already built a vehicle which can move around moon. Their truck, space truck, already. So many other companies as well, right? Yeah, next. Okay, this is, anybody knows this? Mars. Mars. And what is this? Anybody knows? No, there is a name for it. Anybody knows? They will get a gift. No. It is a valley. It is the largest valley in the solar system. Of course, we have not seen everything, but as of now, this is the largest valley in solar system. Can you give the name of it? You. Yeah, it is the Valles Marineris. No, that's a very big canyon on the Mars. Yeah, move next slide. Yeah, this is a biome on Mars. It is looking like your village. You look like a village, right? Your village, backyard, but it is on Mars, right? We have wherever you have a red soil, your own village, my hometown, something like this. Red soil is actually Martian soil, similar to Martian soil. So this is a biome on Mars. Of course, not happened, but this is an artist representation. So this is like the astronauts, exploring Mars. Something similar to what is happening in Moon, that is happening on Mars, like that. Yeah. This is again another example. This is a valley where the explorations, everything is happening. This is the helicopter on Mars. Even ISRO have started helicopter. That is helicopter to be in other planets. So Chandrayaan 4, they are planning a helicopter which will fly in the air, in the atmosphere of Mars. So many space agencies have started creating helicopters for other planets. Even ISRO has started. Yeah. And this is Venus. So Venus is having a double face, right? From the outside it's very beautiful, like the Roman goddess Venus. And then you go inside. Yeah, next slide. Okay, still it's blue, but it's not like our Earth. No, it is sulfuric acid. This is sulfuric acid clouds. Sulfuric acid. And there are plans for colonization of the Venus, but very, very in the end of the century, you have biomes like this which are floating above the sulfuric acid clouds. And even temperatures are normal there, 23 degrees Celsius or maximum 45 degrees Celsius. And it is above the sulfuric acid clouds, so there are not much danger. So this is one way we can colonize Venus. And below, down below it is Naraka, hell, like Shukra. I mean, in our, so it's a double face. The Venus have a double face. Yeah. So this is another example of a Venus lander. We can move. It's all artist renditions. Yeah, move it. And this is Mercury. So I have never talked about Mercury, right? Because just like going to Venus, even double difficulty is going to Mercury because it's exactly very close to Sun. Have anybody of you watched the sky and directly seen any planets? Yeah, so many. Now it is happening, the planetary alignments. How many of you know? Yeah. Have you seen the planets Mars and Jupiter? Yes. So if you just now today night, if you look, Jupiter will be in the head, above your head, and Mars will be rising in the east, and Saturn and Venus will be in the west. Yeah, there is planetary alignment happening. Yeah, please. Yeah. He want to ask some question. Okay, leave it. So it is very difficult to go to Mercury. So ISRO is doing maybe in 2040s we may plan a mission to Mercury, because whatever if you are not very careful, instead of going to Mercury, it will land upon the Sun. So yeah, and this is the Lagrange points. Now this is a very interesting area in the space where the gravity of Earth and Sun cancel each other. So this is the place where you can have space stations and space colonies, etc. That is possible. Yeah, and then I'm just giving, because these are very speculative numbers. Now how you colonize the asteroids. So asteroids are also a very interesting place. Apart from Moon and Mars, for living. It's a good living space. Eros and some asteroids are there, Ceres. So these are very good place where you can live. You can have biomes. Nobody cares about atmosphere anymore. No, you can create biomes and you can live happily there. So you have the asteroids, and whatever happens in the moon and Mars, same thing will happen on the asteroids and the Jupiter's moons. Yeah. So like that it will go. Jupiter, Ganymede, Callisto, all entire up to Pluto. And by 2400, we will completely colonize solar system. Next slide. These are the asteroids. Ceres, like that. Move. And this is Europa. I said now there is more water on Europa than in Earth. So move next. These are the volcanoes, the Ganymede, and then move very fast. Callisto. This is the surface of that Callisto, right? Where you can have again biomes and launch vehicles. Next slide. This is the Io. It looks like what your watercolor oil paint canvas. So there are so many chemicals, sulfur and other. So that's why this color. And then you have Enceladus, that is Saturn's moon. Again, a lot of water is there. So water is plenty in solar system, right? You don't have to worry about water. Next. Then Titan, okay, leave it. So these are the moons of Uranus. These are the place, your future home will be somewhere here. Now that's why I am not showing. Next. And then Triton. And last, next one. You have a very remote Pluto and Charon. Something similar to Earth and Moon, right? The two, actually people say dual dwarf planets. Last destination. And this is the big slide. What is going to happen after the colonization of the solar system? So we have the local civilization in the past. That is what the Mahabharata, Ramayana, Rig Veda, all the Vedic, Harappan, Mesopotamian, Egyptian. These are local civilization. And we are living in a second stage, the global civilization, right? The entire globe is a village. So that is happening right now. And interplanetary civilization, that from 2050 onwards, we will be into that stage. And then you will reach the interstellar civilization. That is, you will go to stars, Proxima Centauri, Alpha Centauri, etc. All these things. And then you have, after 2500, you have the galactic civilization. So something like Star Wars, they have shown the empire ruling the entire galaxy. All that kind of things happen somewhere around 3000 CE, right? And then it continues like that, like you will travel between galaxies and the entire universe will be your. So my mission is to make Sanatana Dharma the religion of the entire universe. So that's my mission. Okay? Like that. Next. So this is a kind of chart how it happens, right? First the solar system, our local, then your clusters, local stellar clusters, galaxy, all other galaxies, and then you have finally this entire universe as part of a single civilization. So move next. This is the big part, right? So see, I have not worked in going into different interviewing alien abductees, etc. That is not my expertise. So what I did is a theoretical definition or explanation for the extraterrestrials. So you have certain statistics in front of you, right? The universe is 13.7 billion years, and you have different generations of stars. Whatever stars you are seeing now, that is generation 3 stars. There were several generations of stars which are born and died. So much of material is already there, like the life, the material, the elements for creating life, carbon and nitrogen. Everything is existing for a long period of time. And even if you look at the age of Earth, it is 4.543 billion years. And you have an equation called Drake equation, which gives you how many number of habitable planets like Earth is there in our galaxy. And that number, no, it's not 100, 200, 300. It is 300 million. So 300 million Earth-like planets are there, right? And based on that, they have calculated around 36, because all of them will be bacteria, virus, etc., right? That is a high probability. There is only very rare 0.001% of probability for it to be intelligent like human beings. But even then, there are 36, that is the mathematics source. There are 36 intelligent civilization possibly existing in the galaxy. So this is the scientific basis for extraterrestrial, right? And now there are evolution theory itself is changing, right? Instead of evolving from the primordial soup, they are saying there is high probability the life came from another planet through comets. So that theory is strengthening. So that means we are also aliens. We are also extraterrestrials. And compared to the older theory of life originating on Earth, now the more number of scientists are believing that it originated in other planets and through comets it has fallen like a seed falling onto the pollen grains coming and falling into a ground and another plant growing. Similarly, somewhere some other stellar system life was there, and from there the life came and established on Earth. So there are high possibility for the extraterrestrials, and there are different kinds of extraterrestrial possible. And another thing again related to Sanatana Dharma is, see, if you have the entire world Abrahamic religions, it will destroy within 2-3. No, if you have the entire world become Abrahamic religions, in 200 years the world will be destroyed. So only when you have a kind of a nurturing and balanced belief system like Sanatana Dharma, civilization can continue for thousands of years, and they can become extraterrestrials for traveling between planets. So there is high probability that Sanatana Dharma kind of a belief is already what helping all the extraterrestrial to continue their civilization, because there is a thing called bottleneck. After a certain time, the civilization breaks apart because of internal conflict. So only a kind of belief system like Sanatana Dharma can continue the civilization and make it continue, and it will survive that bottleneck. So that is another interesting theory. Last slide. I think we will skip this because of lack of time. You can read my books where I talk about Vimanas, Arjuna space travel, etc. In the geography of Mahabharata book is there. You can go and read. That's an exercise for you. Go and read the books where the possibility of some kind of interference of extraterrestrials and space travel in Ramayana and Mahabharata. So that you can go. And this also you can, I give us an exercise for you, because I have my videos on the time travel and the possibility of traveling into past and future. You can search Jijit Nadumuri Ravi, and you will get some videos related to that. And we'll go to the last. So these are my books. Today I spoke only about space, but another thing I'm doing is researching on the Rig Veda, Ramayana and Mahabharata. And can you, if internet is available, can you click here? Okay, I think leave it. I think it's not going, right? Okay, so leave it. It's there. This is my Amazon page, so you can buy these books, etc. Can you go to the slide again? Maybe 5 minutes I will conclude. Last slide. So you can click that Dharma Digital videos. This one, so you can subscribe to this channel where you can see all this. Can you click this one? So you can see the so many kind of videos like this. Gets advertisements coming up. Skip and then. So again, this I will give us an exercise. So this is me some 3 years back without mustache and everything. So can you slide with little bit far? So this is Modi ji asking us to create digital content for Dharma, Sanatana Dharma. So I have so these all characters. I have created the Sri Krishna. So all these Aitihasic characters, Sri Krishna, Sri Rama, all this come in front of you as holograms. So unfortunately, there is lack of time where I cannot show all of this. But you can subscribe to the channel, and you can see the video recordings of these holograms. And you can take this as another exercise, third exercise, when you go home. You can see those, and you can also do it. I will tell you the mechanism how to create the holograms. All these things is possible. Close this. Can you go back once again to the slide? The Dharma Digital. Can you? Next slide. Yeah, that no, Dharma Digital is there, no? That one you click. Yeah. So you have a website. Yes. Yeah. So you have the entire collection. This is the entire collection of holograms, which these holograms can come in front of you and talk to you. And it is a artificial intelligence driven holograms. You can go down. So you have Ganesha, you have Krishna, and then Arjuna and Sri Krishna conversing. All this, no, and then see, this is a snapshot of the hologram in my house. So you can see the entire collection. No, there is Shiva and all sitting in the sofa, and all these things. You can go down till the end. You can go down. Yeah, you can go scroll down. So what you can do is, if you have some understanding about artificial intelligence, and there is a technology called extended reality, you can club them together, and you can create experiences like this. You can teach Sanatana Dharma or any kind of subjects using these kind of concepts. So most of my work I have done in 2018, and no, the main problem is the kind of technology is still in the kind of it is maturing. So it will take some more time so that you can see it using naked eye. Now you have to have something like a spectacle to put, and then only the Devatas will appear in front of you. You know, something like in Mahabharata, Ramayana, you know, Vyas, Bhagavan, Pratyaksha ho gaya. So something like that, you have to put the glass, then you see the Krishna or Rama in front of you. If you remove the glass, nobody is there. So currently that is the technology, but in future with the naked eye you can see the Devatas. So we are looking for maybe 2026 or by the end of 2030, you will have the technology matured enough to see this in using naked eye, and you will be able to do that. Yeah, with that we'll conclude. And of course I have asked a lot of questions, but any more questions, we'll go to the question answer session as well. Yeah. Yeah, yes, very good question, but not normal electronics. So for example, if I take my mobile phone and I go to space, it will fry within just 1 hour. Because you need a special electronics that is called a radiation hardened electronics. That is why Sunita Williams is not having the kind of Apple phone you have. She cannot go there, no, because there is a radiation problem. So for anything, even a small transistor which goes into outer space has to be specially created. And anyway, so many companies, China is working for that. They were saying now we are giving internet facility to, of course it's there still, but bandwidth problem was there in outer space. So it's not very happy life, at least now. You have a limited internet, etc. in space, but SpaceX and Chinese space agency, they are working for best quality internet, broadband connection, etc. in outer space. And also, you know, using radiation hardened electronics. Yeah, another question? Yeah, so many questions are there. Yeah, one of maybe the coordinators can help. Yeah.
Why is the space alignment is happening?
Yeah, very good question. So, this is like the planet motions are very cyclic in nature, right? And each planet have a different orbital period. So, Jupiter will rotate around the sun in 12 years. You know, Kumbh Mela is happening, and everybody knows Kumbh Mela is related to planetary alignment, right? Because the Jupiter take 12 years to make one revolution, and Kumbh Mela is a celebration of that revolution. Every 12 years Kumbh Mela take place, and this is 144 years. It's a more special. 12 into 12, 144, right? Everybody know math. So this is a much more special Kumbh Mela that is happening, and similarly other planets like Saturn takes 30 years. Then Mars take 2.5 years. So every planet have a different speed. So at some point of time they align together. So it has happened in 6777 BC, and that is why Indian astronomy prospered, because after seeing that they were all surprised and they started looking at the space and they are looking at the planets. So our astronomy tradition is coming from 6777 BC. Another one happened in 3102 BC. And that is why we consider it as start of Kali Yuga, etc. Because there was another astronomy conjunction, astronomy alignment like whatever happening in 2025. That happened at the start of Kali Yuga. So this will keep on repeating, planetary alignment. And the concept of yugas, Chatur Yuga, all these are connected to the planets. because this 4.32 million years is one Chatura Yuga. It is related to the Saturn-Jupiter cycles, Saturn and Jupiter revolution cycle. So there is so much of connection, both with astronomy and with our Bharatiya tradition. So they are all together here. Yeah.
Sir, you have told that we are planning to keep a military base in the moon. For what purpose you are trying to keep a military base in the moon?
Yeah. So nothing very sinister here, because once the civilization grows, right? So first it will be scientific expeditions, like whatever is happening in the Antarctica. Once scientific expedition, that is a one wave of colonization. Then you have mining, that is industrial activity happening in all the space. Slowly people will come there. Then there will be like, moon will be something like your own land, right? So there will be some conflict coming up, human nature. So that is why there will be military presence as well. And once you colonize the entire solar system, the solar system will be like our society. So whatever is there in Earth, including military, doctors, everything will be in outer space also. Yeah. Yeah, very good question. So that was that, whatever clip, this mission there is a global alliance with ISRO, European Space Agency and NASA and all the space agencies, that they will collectively work to destroy any kind of asteroid that is going to hit the closest one is happening in 2029, where we are a little bit scary. I mean, it's not like 100% probability, but there is a 10% probability that it can come and hit Earth. So the precautionary measures are already started. And some of the approaches are like, putting some slight micronuclear explosion on the Earth-facing side of the asteroid. So it will go little backwards or change the direction. And there are some other method like a rocket propulsion, so that without breaking it, you will deviate it from the collision path of Earth. So many such methods. Yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah. I think I know so many people have raised hands. What I will ask is the coordinators can note down the questions, right? And then they can collect and send it to me, and I will answer it. Yeah, sure. Yeah, thanks everybody. You are an electric audience. Yeah, and I want to see some of you in space, right? In your when you are growing up, you try to be in moon, Mars, everywhere, wherever you want to go, right?
We request Professor Kanaka Sapapati to hand over the memento to Mr. Ravi. We will be having just a 5-minute break. Those who want to use the restroom can go and come back quickly. We are going to have a very interesting dialogue between Shefali Madam and Aishwarya Madam. Teachers in charge, kindly get them back in 5 minutes, please.